Assalamu alaikum everyone. Good morning. This is Muhammad Umar Khan, co-moderator of Rebrand Pakistan Trade and Investment Webinar 2020 on behalf of Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce with an association of I Am Pakistan Worldwide Movement and official media partner OPTV Global. I warmly welcome you in Rebrand Pakistan Trade and Investment Webinar 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan emerging as potential hub for trade and investment for foreign investors. We all know the challenges of the current economic situation of Pakistan. The streamline of today's webinar is how to support our beloved country in this hard time by bonding them all under one banner, aiming to boost the economy of Pakistan and bridging Pakistan to combat the present economic crisis and to explore the best possible ways to contest escalating challenges by discovering new trade and investment horizon and opportunities in objective to extended support of government of Pakistan under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Imran Khan. In this webinar, we have very reputable keynote speakers and guests. First of all, I would like to mention that the special name, guest of honor and keynote speaker, Mr. Abdul Razak Dawood, advisor to PM Imran Khan on commerce. Dr. Suhail Masood, CEO Kaba Fusion, Patron-in-Chief Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce, and our honorable moderator Waqar Ali Khan, founding chair and CEO of OPTV Global. Ladies and gentlemen, the organizing team of Rebrand Pakistan Trade and Investment Webinar 2020 is very enthusiastic, professional and reputable, and they have potential to grow economy of Pakistan. The leading role is being played by Mr. Waqar Ali Khan, Chairman Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Syed Ahmed, Chairman I Am Pakistan Worldwide Movement, Mr. Jamal Khwaja, JKF Realty Funding. He is very active member of Community President, Council of Pakistani Affairs, and he is former President of Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce. Ms. Fatma Khan, Program Coordinator and Vice President of Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Fawad Ismail, President, Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce, and Mohammad Zubair A. Rao, Co-Chair of Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce. This is an open forum with Mr. Abdul Razak Dawood, advisor to PM in Commerce, and is a live webinar that also being recorded and will be on air on official media partner OPTV Global. The agenda of Rebrand Pakistan Trade and Investment Webinar is to explore trade and investment opportunities in Pakistan. PM Imran Khan message by PM Advisor for Overseas Pakistani Businessman Community. Pakistan American business role in USA and their patriotic spirit to support economy of Pakistan. Government of Pakistan policies for encouraging overseas Pakistani investors. And the fields of discussions are IT and technology, manufacturers and assembling units, import and exports, digital payment systems, online trade system, problems in investing and getting line the investment, training in healthcare, automotive, electric car industry, opportunities in education and skill development, and bilateral guarantees. Now we will start this webinar, and I will request Mr. Waqar Ali Khan, CEO of OPTV Global and Chairman Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce, to welcome all dignitaries. But before over to him, I would also like to mention that Mr. Waqar Ali Khan is a senior international journalist, and before a decade, he produced more than 2,000 episodes of program, namely Safir Pakistan. He always emphasized on good diplomatic relations of Pakistan to promote trade and commerce globally. He is also leading overseas Pakistani television, namely OPTV Global, as Chief Executive Officer, and produced many programs to build a soft and positive image of Pakistan. The most popular program after Safir Pakistan was Rebrand Pakistan, in which OPTV Global highlighted the avenues of investment in Pakistan and listed the fields in which Pakistan can grow its export. OPTV Global has also produced a program, Pakistan Frontline, to tribute the national heroes of Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Mr. Waqar Ali Khan.
Kaba Fusion is a pharmacist-owned, patient-focused team of professionals with over 30 years' experience providing intravenous medication to patients in the comfort of their own home. Founded by Dr. Sohail Masood, Kaba Fusion has 7 state-of-the-art pharmacies located across the country. Visit us at kabafusion.com to learn more about the benefits of in-home infusion therapy.
शाहनवाज हलाल तंदूरी रेस्टोरेंट, मजेदार मुगलई खानों का मरकज और सोने पर सुहागा कोरियन बारबेक्यू के साथ हर संडे शानदार मुगलई ब्रंच पायनियर बुलेवार्ड के बीचों बीच। शाहनवाज हलाल तंदूरी रेस्टोरेंट, वन एंड ओनली इन द टाउन। बड़े से बड़े पार्टी और कैंटीन की आला इंतजाम। आज ही कॉल करें दारा खान को 5624-027-443।
We have a very renowned industrialist, businessman, historic family person, Mr. Abdul Razak Dawood, with us, among us, and I'm thankful to Mr. Said Ahmad, who really coordinated this meeting with Abdul Razak Dawood. He's the chairman of the I Am Pakistan Worldwide Movement. He's been several times Pakistan in this regard. He's doing very good work with among the overseas Pakistani. He's from Ontario, Ottawa, Canada. I'm thankful, Mr. Said Ahmad, for your cooperation. And the whole meeting is coordinated by the Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce. The project OPTV Global is a rebranding Pakistan about trade and investment. So, mashallah, this is our third webinar meeting we have done with healthcare. We have done with the CEOs of America, and a lot of people from that meeting today with us. And I have Dr. Nabi Shirwani, who is won the Tamghe Qaid-e-Azam, mashallah, and he is a pioneer in semiconductor and software industry in Silicon Valley and doing a lot of work, training program in Pakistan in education. He's with us. I'm very thankful to him that he participated. So I would like to start with the roll call with Mr. Idris Kuthari to introduce his Silicon friends.
Thank you very much, Razak Saab and Waqar Saab, to set this up. And to be respectful of everyone's time, I'd give you the short bio or know things about these gentlemen that may not be written. I mean, they're very well known. You can read their bios. I will tell you what I personally know that most of you may not know. Dr. Naveed Sherwani is actually Mr. Silicon. He is a professor. He's an inventor. He has been a teacher. He, as Waqar Saab said, is recipient of Tamghe Qaid-e-Azam. He never met a silicon he didn't like. His startups are talk of the town. His background is Intel, Sci5, Open Silicon, and his assistance in helping Pakistanis. That list is way too long for me to go into at this point. And you can see his commitment. It's about 3 a.m. in the morning in Shanghai, and he was probably one of the first people to join in. Dr. Thank you very much. I consider you a personal friend. And one good thing about Dr. Naveed, he invites everyone. He hosts everyone who visits from Pakistan. He and his wife are the most gracious hosts. And a phone call to him gets responded within minutes, not hours. So I appreciate Dr. Naveed Sherwani for being Mr. Pakistan for us in the Valley. All right, so Dr. Safwan Shah is, his claim to fame is he's an avid golfer. He's a rocket scientist who basically never met a financial problem he cannot solve. He actually believes in the old Islamic or old religious edicts that you must pay the wage to the worker before his sweat has dried. And he's working, his current company is one of the most successful companies in Silicon Valley. His customers are Walmart, Uber, and many others that you can read up on. I find him to be very, very helpful to Pakistanis. When people need a job, I basically just need to send a resume to him, and he will find some way of helping him. So thank you, Safwan, and an avid golfer. He also is part of the group here. And one thing I might want to add or plug in our university, all of us are Indians. So Dr. Naveed is an Indian, Safwan is an Indian. I have the pleasure of being an Indian as well. I think Rehan Jalil may not have made it. All right, well, let me say, give my introduction. I have been the lucky ones. I got to Silicon Valley. I've got to Silicon Valley very early. My only claim to fame is being at the right place at the right time. I have been here since 1978, so I have 42 years of experience in Silicon Valley, and I was very fortunate to have started companies before it became fashionable. And I'm humbled to be invited and be part of this group. I have visited Pakistan regularly. I've worked with governments whenever invited, whenever asked. I have met Razak Saab frequently, and then I've met the president, and we're working on, we have only taken on one task, which is upskilling the youth in Pakistan in technology. I'll stop at that point to be respectful of everyone's time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, now I would like to invite Mr. Fawad Ismail, the President, Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce, to introduce his organization.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Assalamu alaikum Dawood Saab, Waqar Saab, thank you so much. My name is Fawad Ismail. I'm the president of Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce, and professionally I'm a banker. I'm a regional president of Wallace Bank here in Los Angeles. Dear Janab Razak Dawood Saab, on behalf of PSCC board members, I'd like to welcome you to the webinar. Thank you so much for taking your time out from your busy schedule. It's with indeed pleasure. I would like to tell you a little bit about the Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce, also known as PSCC. PSCC is a nonprofit organization based in Los Angeles. It was incorporated in 1989. And since its inception, PSCC has been at the forefront for 3 decades and have been working diligently to make difference in the community and rising to the call of needs. PSCC has been actively involved in business networking, building soft image of Pakistan, building trade bridges between Pakistan and US, help and provide a consultation platform to small business owners to expand their horizon with the local Pakistani American community. PSCC board comprises of business entrepreneurs, IT and medical professionals, bankers, real estate investors, and experts and media professionals. Our strong belief is in giving back to the community and serving to the community in what way possible. We have done numerous programs, events, fundraisers. To name few, PSCC raised funds when the mega earthquake hit in 2005. Besides that, in 2015, the Special Olympics, PSCC donated athletes with the care packages and shoes. But since the COVID-19 hit, PSCC and its board members proactively and diligently created a community task force to fight the virus and help community stay safe. What we did was as we have medical professionals and other members, what we did was we provided food packages to the local communities, not only to Pakistani American communities, but to the local communities over here. And along with that, we also donated over 1 million masks and sanitizers to the local communities, as well as to important departments, agencies over here, like Los Angeles Police Department, Sheriff's Department, and Los Angeles Fire Department. And all that would have not been possible without our donors, our supporters, and our hardworking board members. So what we are willing to do is to help build the soft image of Pakistan, and are willing to take the challenges to rebrand Pakistan and take it to the highest level by providing the assistance in trade and investments in Pakistan. I'll keep it short. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now, I would like to invite my dear friend and the icon of the overseas Pakistani, Mr. Syed Ahmed. Syed Ahmed is a long-time friend. My friendship is almost 30 years. We started our journey with after 9/11 to build the soft image of Pakistan. And he invited me in Canada. I was a part and parcel. I met the governors. I met the authorities in Ontario, Ottawa, and now he's running the I Am Pakistan worldwide movement. He played a key role in them, and he wants to be debt-free Pakistan. He's a very, very iconic personality out of Canada. And of course, his team is very important Its president, Mr. Islauddin, the former Olympian and very influential and very close friend to the Mr. Imran Khan, is also part of event today. Mr. Sayyed, you're on.
Thank you so much. And I'll be quick. This meeting has been called, and I'm very thankful to dear friend Razak Dawood to bring overseas Pakistanis and Pakistan closer. Is a kind of a stereotype of thing. People tell me all the time, we love to invest in Pakistan, but it's always a red tape and my capital is not secure. So today meeting is to ensure every overseas Pakistani, their capital is very secure and in good hands. And Pakistan government, Razak Dawood will speak about it, will facilitate anybody wants to create a jobs there, invest in Pakistan, by any means putting factories or giving jobs to the people and stuff like that. So we have to bring overseas Pakistanis and Pakistan closer as much as we can. I've been visited Pakistan several times in last 5-6 years, and the problem Pakistan facing is a very high loans. So it's over 10 million Pakistanis are overseas and investing in Pakistan. So our program is Invest in Pakistan will help to retire the debts as much as we can. And is only 500,000 people invest $100,000 in Pakistan, buying the real estate, plots, commercial, house, whatever. That dollars goes to Pakistan and the person will get Pak rupees. So State Bank of Pakistan will have a dollars, and that the whole idea to bring as much as we can the foreign exchange to Pakistan. This is our goal. And one thing I like to say, after 9/11 in North America, Pakistani peoples had a hard time and morale was very down. So 20 years ago, me and Waqar Khan Saab started a journey to Pakistan, and we have constant events, one after one, to bring the morale up. And Alhamdulillah, we done the events in Canadian Parliament, where first time Pakistani politician and judiciary has been speak to Canadian people and the Canadian parliamentarian. And we are a non-profitable organization. I Am Pakistan Worldwide Movement is across the world, from Japan to Germany and UK to Africa and North America. The whole idea we are working how to help Pakistan and Pakistanis. Things are very expensive, and because dollars goes up and everything goes up. So if we invest in Pakistan, it will help a common man, a common Pakistani. Second issue, this is very alarming. The student going and getting education abroad from China last year is 550,000. From India, 350,000. And from Pakistan, only 3,000. So this is need to be look into it, and students should go abroad, UK, United States, and get education. So we have over 10,000 youth lined up, and we are working with them. And good news is that in Canada have recently put Pakistan in the list where they can get the student visa very easily, very, very easy. So this is the big achievement, and we need to get our youth educated. If they come here, educate themselves and go back and work in Pakistan or settled here, then they will make money and send to Pakistan. So I Am Pakistan Worldwide Movement working on the one project, send money to Pakistan as much as we can, invest money in Pakistan as much as we can. Thank you so much, Waqar Bhai, and thank you so much, Razak Saab, to joining us this meeting. And this is a specially meeting we have called to bring closer overseas Pakistani investors and Pakistan. Thank you.
Brothers, Mr. Syed MS Saab, good. Now I would like to bring, is Mr. Dhanani on board? Shaukat Dhanani or Mr. Tanveer Ahmed? Is Mr. Tanveer Ahmed on board?
Not as yet, sir.
Okay. I think there's some problem going on with the code. Okay. So now I'd like to invite Mr. Naeem Ahmed to introduce himself briefly from Chino Crown Industry. Naeem Ahmed, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It's Naeem Siddiqui. So thank you for having me here. I appreciate that. Appreciate the company here, Mr. Dawood Saab and others. I'm really flattered that I'm in this company here. Just want to tell you a little bit about the company, a little bit about myself, and I'll just hold it to a couple minutes. So I own Crown Technical Systems in Fontana, California. We have a facility in Dallas, Texas, and also a design engineering office in Toronto, Canada. We have about 350 people on staff, and we ship products out of all three facilities. Fontana is the main headquarters. What we manufacture, just so you know, is custom engineered control enclosures, which is pre-packaged for use in industrial substation. This founds the substation, the main controls in the substation. We also make a product called switchgear. And switchgears are basically a power distribution center, a large-scale power distribution center. We work with all the major utilities in the West Coast and with our Texas facility in many of the Midwest and Southwest states as well. Again, I think that probably is enough of an introduction. If anybody wants to know more, I'll be happy to talk to them. I certainly have an interest in investing in Pakistan, except I don't know how to do that. I really have not really looked into it much. I certainly feel like with the present government that, respect for law and order and things like that, that inspire confidence in people to invest is there. So I'm very happy to talk to folks who may have an approach on how to invest in Pakistan without actually putting in a factory myself. I don't see that happening on personally, but if I can work with a team of people to put in a factory or some product, technical know-how, whatever it is, I'm more than happy to do that. By the way, I'm also an NEDian and very active supporter of NED folks. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now I'll bring over Mr. Dr. Sana Khan. He is from Los Angeles. He's the Chief Patron of Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce. He's a PhD, MD in neurophysicist and radiologist. He owns the company called MRI, True MRI, then Expert MRI. And he's a very educated person. And recently, we signed one MOU, one of the third largest college called Santiago Canyon College. We are not giving visa right now, but we are opening an online college in Pakistan from America, so people can get American degree and that degree pass on, or the unit pass on to the major university, which is Berkeley, Stanford, UCLA, UCI, Cal State, Chapman. So this MOU already be signed with starting first semester in February. So it's a very big deal. Okay, the American college going Pakistan to educate Pakistani students. So it's a very good news. Dr. Sana, you're on.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So just to give you a little bit of background, there's a company called Coursera. It was founded by Andrew Ng, who was one of the leading business people in IT in the US, and he also ran for president. So I'm going to just give you very, very quick some data worldwide, that so you understand. And I know, mashallah, you guys have been talking about bringing students here to the US for studying from Pakistan. But when you look at worldwide data of the top 60 countries, Pakistan actually ranks number 49 overall, which is 19th percentile in global business, where we talk about Microsoft Excel, project management, digital marketing, blockchain technology. But when you get into artificial intelligence, you get into JavaScript, web development, Pakistan actually, I'm sorry to say, is number 59. It's 2 percentile, second percentile. Data science, Python, data source, SQL Server, deep learning. Pakistan ranks on the third percentile, number 58, behind Bangladesh. So we have a real issue in Pakistan in terms of education. And as much as, mashallah, we have amazing people here that are doing terrific work and amazingly intelligent Pakistanis, we need to really bring higher education to Pakistan. And I can certainly tell you who said that they have difficulty in doing business in Pakistan. I have about 300 employees in Pakistan, and I've had it for about the last 15 years. And I find them to be amazing, smartest kids I've known, who've grown up with my business and helped my business tremendously. So I would highly encourage you guys to explore that option to do business there. And my collections company, my medical collections company, is in Pakistan. So just bringing back to the point what Waqar Bhai was saying. So I've been looking at this with Waqar Bhai for about more than a year and a half. I met with the governor of Punjab last year when we went. And he's also happens to be the chancellor of all of the universities in Punjab. So the idea really is, to bring students from Pakistan here, there's several challenges. One is the visa challenge, because the Foreign Affairs Office of the US doesn't know which are the really qualified intelligent students in Pakistan to give them the education visa here. The other thing is, even if they come here, it's very expensive. The amount of money they have to spend. But then what it does, it narrows it down to the elite class who can send their children here or their young adults here. And again, it doesn't mean that we're going to have widespread education in Pakistan available. And then the other challenge is that when somebody comes here and they have lived here for a while, they tend to stay here. So nothing wrong with that, of course, that they can send money back to Pakistan. But once again, that intelligence stays here. So the way that we really looked at it is to say, okay, we need to be able to give Pakistani students the access to American education and with American degrees. So for the last year and a half, I've been working with Santiago Junior College here. And luckily, their vice president and the dean of student affairs happens to be somebody from Pakistan. So Sayyid Ijaz Rizvi, mashallah, we've done a lot of work. And we have completed 2 degree programs completely online, specifically designed where we will they'll be given students from Pakistan access. The fees will be the same as the foreign fees that comes here. So the student doesn't have to pay any more than if they were here, but they don't have to worry about visas. They don't have to worry about housing and being away from their family and all of that, that goes along with it. And in fact, we will have access and it's unlimited access. It's all web-based anyway. So, and I know Naveed Sherwani, Naveed Bhai and I go back a long ways with this, and he's a huge advocate of that. But once they get done with these programs, and we're starting with 2 programs, computer sciences and business administration. And it'll be completely online. They will get an AA degree in Pakistan from here. And we do have already in place tag programs where these students, once they finish, can either go to Cal State Fullerton or UC Irvine or Chapman College, depending on where they intend to go. So
great.
That doesn't mean that they're going to go there necessarily and get visas, but at least they'll have American degrees, inshallah, sitting in Pakistan. So this is a practical way of attacking this issue, where we can get thousands of Pakistani students to actually get American education straight from here without having to leave their homes and the country. And I'll stop at that, at least at this point, inshallah.
Thank you, Dr. Saab. Thank you very much. A very good project, inshallah, and a lot of university follow you after that. And now I have a very important person among us, Dr. Sohail Masood. Dr. Sohail Masood is a serial entrepreneur, and he started his company very humble beginning. It's called Crescent Healthcare. His very specialized product is called IVIG immunoglobulin, which is treat neuromuscular disorder, dermatology, hematology problem, cancer problems, and they send their nurses home to treat patients. They no need to go to hospital. After many years, he sold his company to Walgreen. After Walgreen, then he again started after 5 years his name Kaba Fusion. I was very worried when you put the Kaba Fusion name. Well, that's the name I have to put. Now his company is almost $500 million. Is the nation's largest home infusion company. Dr. Suhail Masood, also the chief patron of the Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce, very dear friend. He helped me started my television project as well as Mr. Sana Khan, which is you see now OPD Global worldwide. Dr. Suhail Masood, you're on board.
Thank you, Waqar bhai. So I'm really sorry it took me a long time to log in. Sometimes these technologies are not really that great. They work and they don't work. But definitely, I know a lot of you, and my goal for the last 35, 40 years in the community is to help the Pakistanis, help the Muslim community. One thing I still don't understand after all these years is what does healthcare in Pakistan means. I know I hear once in a while that a hospital is being built, but as I see it, hospitals can only benefit very few people, and especially the very sick people. But there is no discussion on medication. There's no discussion on keeping people healthy so they don't end up in the hospital. My industry, home infusion, has been in America for last 40, 50 years, providing care to patients at a very low cost, but goes to patient homes. And the way I look at it, that will be one of the best ways that Pakistan introduces cheaper healthcare to everyone. Building hospitals is really not the answer. So I know that we had few discussions in the past with people coming from Pakistan, but the discussion really doesn't go anywhere because the goals and scopes for healthcare at least are very different in Pakistan than how they are in America. So that's all I had to say at this point.
Waqar Sahab, you need to unmute yourself.
That's what you're very hardcore Pakistani. You have done a lot of good things. So what's your plan if you got an opportunity to go and fix Pakistan health department?
Yeah.
Sir, please mute yourself.
Yeah. So what I like I said before, every time I hear about healthcare in Pakistan, I hear about hospitals being built, but they are really not the answer to each and every individual. I remember going to the hospital in Pakistan, in Mayo Hospital, and I was told, go and get this thing and go and get this drug. And I'm running back and forth. My uncle, I remember he was in Pakistan Army, poor guy, you know. He's running back and forth between the hospital and the pharmacy to get the medication. I really don't know in last 40 years where the Pakistan healthcare is, but it's very dismal. Just building the hospitals, you need to look at where the medication is coming from. And there's a whole lot of things that I think that if we are sitting at the very high level with the Pakistan government, we can work it out, but these discussions really don't go anywhere. I'm very sad to say that, but that's the reality. It doesn't go anywhere.
Thank you, Dr. Suhail Masood, for your participation. I will open up phone questions, answer. Now, I have a very important person here. Sana Khan mentioned very good. Yeah. So now I'd like to invite Mr. Qureshi from Michigan.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much, Waqar Saab. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Okay, thank you very much for arranging this, and thank you very much to Mr. Razak Dawood Saab for sparing his valuable time. So I will just briefly introduce myself. I'm an Indian too. I'm in Michigan, and I work for automotive OEM, Chinese automotive OEM R&D center, and I head up their systems engineering of their autonomous vehicles level 2 and level 3. So this is what I do professionally. And I would like to introduce, I've been running this organization called DICE Foundation for the last 14 years. DICE stands for Distinguished Innovations, Collaboration, and Entrepreneurship. And what we do in Pakistan for the last 14 years, we have been arranging innovation events, large scale innovation events in the area of mega events in the area of health, textile, agriculture, where we bring industry, academia, and government all at the same platform. We have innovation chapters all the way from Karachi to Chitral. So that's what we do. Recently, I would like to just mention we have started for the last few years working on some mega projects. There are 4 mega projects going on at a different stages. One of the biggest projects which we are working on is DICE, Pakistan's indigenous electric vehicle. And we have about 50% of the design is complete. Most of the people working on this project are volunteers working for OEMs in UK, USA, who are giving their time voluntary to design the car for Pakistan. So one of my questions would be how government can support us in the design and development and later on commercialization of that electric car, Pakistan's own indigenous car. Second project is very quickly, I would say, is Rinstra, Pakistan's own social media platform like YouTube and streaming platform that is already developed, and we are launching in the next 1 week. Before even launch, we have about 18,000 registered users already there. It's called Rinstra. And then 2 more projects, electric battery design and development capability in Pakistan. We have started working on it with several universities. Park Austria is one of the universities which we are trying to set up the lab to design and develop complete capability for electric batteries in Pakistan for both stationary and finally we are working on a portal, farmer portal, which is because we do think that we need to be very farmer centric because we do believe if we can improve the livelihood or earning potential of farmer even by 10%, the whole economy will go. And there are many other projects going on, but I don't want to take too much of everybody's time. That this was just a brief introduction.
Thank you very much, Mr. Qureshi out of Michigan, a very important person. Now I'd like to invite a very important person. Let me get introduced first to Safwan Shah, then I'll go to Nabi Shirwani after that. Mr. Safwan Shah is a friend of mine, and I remember that in 2006, I named him the very big award from Safir Pakistan Award Ceremony. As you know, that Safir Pakistan give award every year. We have given almost about 700 awards till today. So Safwan is award winning from Safir Pakistan. He is a guru in his field. Safwan, would you please tell yourself? I know that your pay active is doing very well, but you have done previously very good as well. Safwan Shah, very intellectual type person.
Thank you very much, Waqar Saab. Thank you, Razak Dawood Saab, esteemed Razak Dawood Saab. Thank you for gracing the occasion. Very quickly, I'm in Silicon Valley for the last almost 30 years. And I've been in the US almost that amount of time. My work and my area of specialization is financial technologies or fintech. And that's what I focus on. And in the few companies that I've started, I've had the experience of running a big operation in India. And I saw India in 1999 to 2009, when the fintech or the tech sector in India kind of took off. And now this time around, I did it in Islamabad. And we have 300 people in Islamabad. And it is, as someone else said here, and I resonate with it, the most amazing people, the most amazing talent. And, I would think Pakistan it makes business sense, it makes ROI sense, it makes common sense to do business in Pakistan. When I think of, in a very succinct sort of a way, I'll say a couple of things. When I think of Pakistan and, we are all Pakistanis and we want to help and do things in Pakistan, I see it in 3 areas. The overall problem that I see is of a supply chain. We need to create an ecosystem in Pakistan where the university and academic institutions feed into some kind of training and, startup environment, and then money has to come together. And I think all 3 areas now, I have dabbled in that in Pakistan. I've invested in companies, I've started a company, and I want to now explore how to take our service that I do in the US to tens of millions of people in Pakistan. I think that is the best way to take advantage of Pakistan. I don't believe that labor arbitrage is the only way. I think Pakistan is now a market, and it is an amazing market. And what happened in India or China was because eventually those technologies came in and served the overall economy of those countries. And I think that is happening in Pakistan. I don't know if there is anything else I would like to share, except I'm grateful that I'm here. And I think it's one hell of a time to be a Pakistani, and with the ability to do something, and with a government that actually welcomes it.
Thank you, Stefan Shah. I'm going to go now, Mr. Dr. Naveed Shirwani. He's a professor, but working with him, I become a little professor. And after that, I'm going to go Dr. Ijaz and then Amir Hassan. I'm coming soon. So everybody should be very briefly, because now we have to talk to Abdul Razak Saab, very waiting desperately, everybody, about his speech. Dr. Naveed Shirwani. Is it Dr. Naveed Shirwani?
Sorry about that. I was just simply saying thank you everyone, and Razak Dawood साहब शुक्रिया आपका बहुत बहुत. मेरी कोशिश आजकल पाकिस्तान में ये है कि किसी तरह से my area of expertise is chip design, and मेरा ये ख्याल है कि एक बहुत historic opportunity है इस वक्त पाकिस्तान के पास कि हम chip design को पाकिस्तान में ला सकते हैं. उसकी बहुत बड़ी वजह ये है कि China and US trade war is creating a situation where China has to become independent in terms of development of all the chips, which means जो जितनी 1000 कंपनियां अमेरिका में और यूरोप में हैं वो सब डुप्लीकेट होंगी चाइना में over the next 10 years, which means anywhere between 500,000 to 1 million people have to be trained in China or work with China to actually work in those companies. Now China can only take that headcount from countries that are friendly to China. I think this creates a historic opportunity for Pakistan to be part of that situation. This is going to happen. China will become independent. China will do it. China will find a way to make their own chips. And I think if Pakistan joins that movement, we can maybe have 100,000, 200,000, 400,000 people working in Pakistan, working with Chinese companies. And in doing so, build a chip industry in Pakistan, which I think is very important for the sovereignty of Pakistan, because if you do not have your own chips, you cannot have your own defense, you cannot have your own banking, you cannot have your own education, you cannot have actually anything, because in the end, whoever provides you the chips controls all the back doors, controls the software, and essentially, in literally, that's exactly what happened to China. So I'm trying to do multiple, I'm working with several ministries and I'm working with several organizations in Pakistan to try to see how we can build up an infrastructure in Pakistan so that we can start training a very large number of students who can then participate in chip design, working with Chinese companies, working with the other companies for other nations.
Thank you, Mr. Naveed Shirwani. You always on the top of things. Now I would like to invite Dr. Ijaz Ahmed, all the way from New York. He's a nuclear cardiologist, entrepreneur, businessman. He's building 200-bed hospital in Pakistan. That's a very good sign. He's already an investor in Pakistan. Dr. Ijaz Ahmed is also the chairman of the very big organization which is working between American politician and the Pakistani politician in the Pakistan community. Dr. Ijaz Ahmed, and you're on board. I would like to invite now Dr. Amir Hassan from San Antonio. I would like to go to Mr. Ashraf Khani Saab, who in the hotel business.
Assalamu alaikum, Waqar Saab, Razak Bhai, and the rest of the team. I'm really honored to be part of this panel. My background is hotel industry. I came 50 years ago in the United States, work at McDonald's for $1 an hour, and I've been blessed by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I really want to do something in Pakistan in terms of travel and tourism. And I would love to ask 3 top questions, which I forward to you, Jamal Bhai, if you can ask on my behalf. I would appreciate that. But bottom line is we like to do something not only for the travel and tourism industry, but also for the youth There is a lot of talent in Pakistan that we can really train through Cornell program in hospitality management and project development. We also like to bring some foreign exchange and foreign investors to SPAC, which is Special Purpose Acquisition Companies. There's a lot of liquidity available in Wall Street. If you can join our forces and talents and know-how and promote to the next level with the help of Razak Dawood, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you, Jazakallah. Basically, I'm looking to develop hotel industry in Islamabad, Karachi, and Lahore, and possibly in Gwadar. So my main concern is really how to get into the opportunities of getting the legal land acquisition and the cost of doing business in Pakistan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ashraf Lakhani. You always looking for building the hotel industry in Pakistan, and that's why we are here. Okay, now I would like to really, I'm very honored and very excited to invite our today's keynote speaker, Abdul Razak Dawood, which is a very, very extensive background. His family is really very patriotic. Qaeda Muhammad Ali Jinnah requested his family to migrate from India to Pakistan to start the industry, and they initiated the industry in Pakistan, building the Dawood textile mill, the Dawood Engineering College, Hercules, Roche, and Descon. And his family has a role, big role. I have seen his textile mill, Dawood textile mill in Lani. 10,000, 7,000 people work in one shift, and they are a major contributor. Now he's a special advisor to the Prime Minister of Pakistan, and I think his treasure is about a Federal Minister of the Commerce and Industry. It's very expensive. He served also the era of the President Musharraf. He's brilliant. He's not a politician. He's a true icon businessman. Mr. Abdul Razak Dawood.
What I will, it was first of all very, very interesting to hear the comments that all of you have just given. I have made some very brief notes. For us in Pakistan, the overseas Pakistani diaspora is extremely important for us. And our Prime Minister, Imran Khan, mentions it very, very often in the cabinet meetings that we have to work with our overseas Pakistanis, and I do feel that overseas Pakistanis are now coming in, although I know for a fact that many overseas Pakistanis have come and they do not get the type of welcome that they should get or they deserve. Before I go on to some of the points that you have raised, just let me say a few things about our economy. I am not a politician. I'm a businessman. I'm a professional. I would always give you the facts that as I see it. I'm not playing to the gallery. I'm talking to a whole group of successful business people who are professional, business people who have a good net worth. I will just talk very briefly on the economy, and that is that, alhamdulillah, the economy is turning. As we all know, that to turn an economy takes a lot of time. And now I can say to you that yes, the indications of the economy turning are there. And why do I say that? I say that because today, when this government came in, and I remember when I first went to Faisalabad, it was a town of gloom and doom. Everybody was saying, "Pata nahi kya ho gaya hai," where industrialization is going down, there is deindustrialization, etc., etc. Today, in spite of COVID, in spite of all the downturn in the world economy, our exports are doing far better than the other exporters in the region. Today, our exporters are saying that they do not have enough capacity, and they are wanting to expand more and more, which they are actually doing. Our exports are going up, and things are going well. So that's a very good sign. And now my biggest challenge is, how do I open the doors and move the restriction for a tremendous increase in our capacity in our country? The manufacturing, local manufacturing for the local business is also doing extremely well. We have had the highest production of cement in the country, highest production of tractors, motorcycles, cars than we've ever had. So all these things are adding to some beginning, I would say, beginning of a feel-good factor. Our current account deficit, which was a deficit for 4 consecutive months, it has been positive. Our reserves are going up. So these are all signs that, and now the construction industry is picked up. These are all signs that finally our economy is moving in the right direction. We have many challenges in our country. There's no doubts about it. It's going to take another few years before it really, the turnaround comes and we get into a tremendous growth situation. So I do feel that things are moving well. In the next few days, I don't want to announce the name of the company, but in the next few days, I will be announcing that a very major multinational is going to move their business process outsourcing from Malaysia and bringing it to Pakistan. This is a very major development, and it's happening after 25 years that a major corporation will move its worldwide operation, their back office, to Pakistan. I think this is a good sign. They've came here, they met me 2 or 3 times. I took them to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister encouraged them. And now, just on Friday, I heard the good news that their worldwide board has taken the decision. You will soon hear about it. But these are the type of things that I'm saying that shows that the situation in Pakistan is changing. I just heard from the Canadian High Commissioner in Islamabad that the Canadian government is also relaxing the travel advisory. We have gone 1 notch better. So that also is a good sign. Now, after many years, a second international airline, Virgin Airline, has now started a flight from Manchester directly to Islamabad. So that also is another sign. So that sets the thing. Now, how do you get the overseas Pakistanis to come into Pakistan? You're concerned, and I will say very rightly concerned. As far as the law and order situation is concerned, it is much, much better. So I think that is slowly going into the background. Now the question comes is how safe is your investment? How easy is it to do to invest in to put up a industry here? I have to admit that it's still a bit of a struggle. I know the number of people, foreign companies, particularly Chinese companies that come, and how I have to help them to remove a lot of the hurdles. I will not say to you that don't worry, come into Pakistan, all the hurdles are now being removed. I will say the hurdles are being removed. Every month, every 2 months, they're getting better and better. Where do you put your investment? The simplest way is if you want to invest in the Roshan digital account. Here you are in the West, you're putting your money, invest your money at a very low interest rate. In Pakistan, you're getting 7%. It's a good rate. Is your money being put in there safe? I would say it is reasonably safe, but if you are a high high earning person, you've got a reasonable portfolio, I would say that you should try a certain amount of money, but only a certain amount of money to be try into. We've now just received another $7 million that has just come in the last few days. So this is an area of investment, and I think it is safe. And the way we are now trying to handle our other accounts, I think we're getting better and better, and our reserves are getting higher. Another thing is where one of you mentioned about the labor arbitrage is not enough. I agree with you. Those days and that old type of thinking that come to Pakistan because labor is cheap, that doesn't really hold much water anymore. There's got to be much more than that. Our productivity has to be much better. Just low labor costs is not enough. But certainly in the areas of IT, we have a very large group of people. We're now, the numbers that are graduating is gone up to 35,000. And as some of you did mention, that you were surprised at the quality of our people. I thought that our people were, you will be surprised. The number of newcomers who are coming into startups in their own businesses, I think it's quite commendable. And I heard Dr. Sana Khan mention that he was quite surprised at the quality of our people, and it is true. One good thing about Pakistanis, I think they learn pretty fast if you can give them the right environment. On the e-commerce, which is my responsibility, a lot of the hurdles of trying to get the funds to go out of Pakistan smoothly and come into Pakistan smoothly, maybe another 3 to 6 months, and then we will have ironed out all the small glitches that do come in the way. So I do feel that in this area, the state bank has done a fairly good job to improve all the processes that will allow smooth flow of funds going out of Pakistan and funds coming into Pakistan. Another thing was somebody mentioned that if they want to invest in industry and they want to get a local partner, my take on this is be extremely careful when you are selecting a local partner. My suggestion to you would be go to the CEO of the Pakistan Business Council. The Pakistan Business Council is a association of we people have set it up, and there you will get good advice onto who are good people, sound parties. So that my sincere advice is that, and also you can use my office. I can guide you. One knows many of the people in our country. I would advise you to not easily jump in with a local partner, but do think about it. There are very good parties, but there are many that are not so good, and they may not guide you correctly. On the hotel industry, tourism is increasing in Pakistan, and the good news is it's primarily Pakistanis, and in any country, it's always the local people that start the tourism. Today, there is an immense shortage of accommodations, hotel rooms, vast number, even of the Pakistanis that are traveling. So once the other people come in, then it will be wonderful. To a question, is this a good time to invest in Pakistan? A good time to look at Pakistan? It certainly is. We have a prime minister who has proven time and again that he admits his mistakes. His integrity is beyond question. And that would just permeate down in our country. Many of the difficulties in the middle order and the lower order, they have yet to be removed. They're not removed at the moment. Let's be very, very honest about it. People do have a little bit of tough time. I want to say, I want to also, I have worked a lot with Ahmed Said. He came over here and with his I Am Pakistan brand, and he has gone around meeting people and trying to develop a bridge, and has helped in trying to build a bridge between the overseas Pakistanis and industry in Pakistan. I want to make a request to you people. A very interesting request is we are now going for Expo 2020. And Expo 2020 is selling Pakistan. And one thing that I would like you to do is, if you know of Pakistanis anywhere in the world who are doing state-of-the-art work on the frontiers of knowledge, if Pakistanis are doing something, please let me know, because there is one part of the pavilion will be talking about the dynamism of Pakistani people. And I'm trying to search and find Pakistanis, Silicon Valley, maybe in Boston, anywhere, LA, wherever. And if you know of Pakistanis who are doing something, please let me know. I want to project it at the pavilion. We are projecting many things, and the final stage of the pavilion is to talk about Pakistanis who have done well on the international plane, and Pakistanis who are doing something at the artificial intelligence or any other technology. Just let me know. We would like to talk about it and mention it in the Expo 2020. We would get a few people to come over, take some, and then talk about what they're doing, and let us project it to show to the world that Pakistanis are capable of working at the frontiers of knowledge, that Pakistan ek itna gay-guzra mulk nahi hai. On the other front, I want to mention that on our western borders, finally, we are seeing peace with Afghanistan, and our relationship, which we all know was not very good for many years with Afghanistan, with our Chief of Army Staff going there, and then the Prime Minister, our military people, myself, Foreign Office. When we went there, I clearly saw a major, major change. And now we are having, I'm responsible for this, to put the economic parameters between ourselves and Afghanistan on an even keel. And I do feel that this is the beginning of peace, at least on our Western front, and a lot of opportunities are opening up. And I hope that somewhere by the end of January or end of February, somewhere in that period, we will be able to sign an agreement with Afghanistan to improve our economic life. So this is a very good happening. And I just honestly, I want to close now by saying that whatever I've heard from you people, I heard that some people are looking at putting up hotels. We have already announced that all your equipment that you bring into the hospital can come into Pakistan completely duty-free. So that you don't have to run around anymore, it's done. One of the gentlemen mentioned about pre-treatment, not just hospitals. I couldn't agree with you more. And if somebody, an overseas Pakistani, came over and brought that concept in Pakistan, I think it will be absolutely fantastic. And whatever I can do to help to ease the way through, I would certainly do it. To conclude, yes, this is a good time to look at Pakistan. And I hope all of you will. And whatever I can do from the Ministry of Commerce, from the Board of Investments, that is my job, to make things easier for you. It will not be a bed of roses, that I can admit to you, but we're getting better as the months go by. So thank you very much for listening to me. I'm still open for any questions that anybody wants to ask me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Razak Dawood Saab. A very dynamic speech, very open speech. And before I go questions and answer, which is going to be conducted by Jamal Khwaja, I have two very important people to introduce you, Mr. Razak. One is Mr. Shaukat Dhanani. He's employed almost 37,000 people. He put the bread and butter on 37,000 people, and you can multiply how many families was really getting benefit. His company almost doing over $1 billion in the business. And I interviewed him, and then I found out that he's also very much interested in education. He's doing a lot of investment in education area. Beside that, I have a Dr. Amir Qureshi in line. He's the chairman of the OPTV Global. I will bring Dr. Amir Qureshi just after Mr. Shaukat Dhanani. Okay, so stay tuned, everybody. Inshallah, everybody going to get the chance. Mr. Shaukat Dhanani.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I'm so glad to hear everything that I heard, Razak Saab. I'm very encouraged. And obviously, I have some investments there, and I've done some in the higher education, and I believe I would want to continue to do so and do whatever we can from our side. Plus, I'm also interested in making some other business investments that I'd like to discuss further later on, inshallah. But I'm so glad that Pakistan has been receptive and continues to do so, and its stabilization is so well right now. So I'm very encouraged. And again, thanks, Razak Saab, for you and your whole, the whole government, including, mashallah, our Prime Minister. You guys are doing a phenomenal job, and I'm so proud to call myself a Pakistani. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shaukat Dhanani Saab. आपने बड़ा किफ़ायत शौरी से काम लिया. Mashallah, you are really an icon in the food industry. And now I'd like to invite our very dearest friend, Dr. Omar Qureshi. He's one of the chairman of the OPTV Global. He's the pain management expert, and he has a big facility in Arkansas. He's a very thriving and a very get-going person. Mr. Dr. Amir Qureshi.
Thank you, Waqar, for giving me a chance to speak. And Dawood Saab, welcome to this forum, and we appreciate your time, first of all. I mean, from overseas Pakistani, obviously, आपने काफ़ी चीज़ें touch की हैं जो हमारे concerns हैं. That includes the investment and how do we get our money back. Recently, I have personally invested hundreds and thousands of dollars in different ventures in Pakistan. So my concern was still the same. If there is some profit, or how do I get my money back? And Dr. अपने आशीष भाई और मैं जो हूँ अशरफ भाई and I, we're looking into hotel industry together. Also, I'm looking into a hospital system. अगर हमारे साथ government joint venture में आ जाए, and if there are and that would be easy for us, where we feel comfortable कि चलो हमारे joint ventures में काम हो रहे हैं, and we get a guarantee from the Pakistani government that overseas Pakistanis are invested in this project. The other request I have is that how do we continue promote Pakistan's positive image? That is our goal right now. Because of Imran Khan, a lot of our supporters of Imran Khan and his government, but we see continuously on media the negative vibes about Pakistan from the other parties. That kind of scares us all. I mean, at least myself, kind of scares me to go forward and invest more. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. You know, we just are not sure. So I think that's another concern. If you can shed some lights on this, that would make us very comfortable. I appreciate it. And thank you again for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Dr. Amir. He's one of the person who really come up with me to launch the OPTV Global Network, which is the voice and advocacy for the overseas Pakistani. Overseas Pakistani is a sleeping giant, okay? Yet not taped by the government of Pakistan, not yet taped by the mission of the Pakistanis. That a lot of Pakistanis is still willing to work with Pakistan, to invest in Pakistan. Let me give you an example. When you launch the digital account opening, there's all the promotion and publicity going in Pakistan where there's not account stay. All the account in Europe, Middle East, America, North America, none of advertising and promotion been given to the overseas Pakistani media, which is they can double and triple the investment account opening. That's why I created the Media Council of Overseas Pakistani to work with Pakistan, to build a positive image of Pakistan, to contact with the local authorities, senators, congressmen, think tanks. So the External Publicity Department and the Your Information Department must give attention to the overseas Pakistani media, which is they stay there, they meet and greet people. If you're not going to advertise, you're not going to promote among the overseas Pakistani media, so how are you going to get the accounts? I know that you're getting the account, but you can triple your account if you connect with the overseas Pakistani media. Now, I would like to really open the floor for Q&A.
Thank you so much, Razak Saab. First of all, a great opening remark by you. We are really impressed and humble the knowledge you have about recent government and the past governments as well. So right now I have Mr. Ashraf Lakhani, who is from the hotel industry, and he has some question, as Amir Saab also said. So Mr. Lakhani, go ahead and ask your question to Mr. Razak.
How are you?
And that should be a brief. That should be a brief because the time.
Yes, Waqar Saab, I'll do that part. So please make sure your question is brief and don't explain about yourself. Just let's go with the question because Razaks have a time limitation. We need to wrap this up as well. So Mr. Ashraf Lakhani, please go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you, Razak Bhai. How are you, sir? If you can please answer one important question regarding the sovereign debt guarantees. Do you have some vehicle or instrument where you can really help preserve the capital? I'm not talking about the profit. I'm just talking about the original investment that will give us a level of confidence to do hotel projects in Pakistan.
Yeah. So what you're saying is whatever is your main investment, you want security that you can take that out.
Right. Securitization by government bonds or some kind of, sovereign funds that can, undertake the responsibility.
Yes, but suppose if somebody puts up an industry and that industry does not happen to be a good one, and or his management is not good enough, and he loses some of his equity. Are you saying that he should be guaranteed that his original equity should be allowed?
No. I'm sorry. No, that's not the intent. I have been in the United States for 50 years, and I've taken all kinds of risky projects, and we do risk assessment, feasibility. We have a good track record of doing development of hotels in Dubai. We can do the same business model in Pakistan and make sure there's no red tape or no, I get frustration because there's so much restrictions and loopholes and a lot of mafia, so-called, they won't let you enter. If they have a fair platform, I'll be willing to play the game and take my risk.
Okay. No, I think if we can have outside of this meeting, have a more detailed discussion. There are ways in Pakistan of avoiding the mafia, avoiding these unnecessary hurdles that come in.
Right.
And because it will never be absolutely smooth, I can assure you on that. But it does not have to be the great challenge that you fear it will be. So I would request that you and I have a separate discussion on this, as to how we can make your investment such that as a businessman you are willing to take the risks,
Correct.
which are normal, standard business risks of the market. I know
Correct.
you're not asking for protection against the market.
Right.
You're
I think,
asking.
yes, that is correct.
I think, Razak Saab, you're absolutely right about it. Maybe it is a whole separate question and answer, which Ashraf Saab can later on contact Waqar Ali Khan Saab and we can connect you. Before I go to the next gentleman who wants to ask the question, Razak Saab.
Jamal, I have one more question, if I may, please. One quick question.
Can you hold on to it, sir? And
analysis.
then I'll come back to you, if you don't mind.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Razak, I just want to point something out that you mentioned that on your 2021, you want to showcase Pakistanis. And I want to ask you or request you to pay attention to a TV program called Pakistan Se Aage, which is hosted by Waqar Ali Khan. And that's all that program does. Anybody and everybody have achieved certain heights in United States. Waqar Saab brings him out and talks about it. So I think Waqar would be a very good fit that he can give you. He has a book also coming out which talks about 1,000 people in United States doing what. So that is number one. Now I have a dear friend and a gentleman named Arif Mansoori who has two newspapers, Pakistan Link and Urdu Link, which has been read all across the United States. Arif bhai, you have a question for Mr. Razak. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. सबसे पहले तो मैं रज़ाक दाऊद साहब को शुक्रिया अदा करूँगा for a very brilliant and informative speech. और मैं आपको मुबारकबाद भी पेश करना चाहूँगा गवर्नमेंट ऑफ पाकिस्तान को के जो recent accomplishments हैं and like you listed, like you said कि Pakistan is moving in the right direction now. बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो कि आज डिस्कस हुई हैं उनमें एक जो है वो ट्रेंड जो है वो कॉमन है कि द सेफ्टी ऑफ द इन्वेस्टमेंट, द इम्प्रेशन ऑफ पाकिस्तान एज अ सेफ इन्वेस्टमेंट लोकेशन. तो उसके हवाले से इस तरह कई प्रोग्राम हैं जो कि पाकिस्तान का इमेज बेटर करने के लिए हुकूमत ने किए हैं. कई चीज़ें हैं जो कि दे आर वर्किंग वेरी वेरी वेल. जिस तरह आपने मेंशन किया Roshan digital account, which has done really well in the last 5-6 months. The remittances have increased. We are now getting over 2 Arab rupees, $2 Arab per month. जो नवंबर में 2.38 Arab dollars जो हैं वो पाकिस्तान ने रिसीव किए, which is about 30% higher than the previous November last year. So these schemes are working. But जिस तरह वक़ार अली खान साहब ने भी मेंशन किया, इनकी जो कि इंफॉर्मेशन है वो ओवरसीज पाकिस्तानी तक नहीं पहुंच रही. अगर सही तरीके से पहुंचे तो दिस कुड बी मल्टीप्लाइड, कई गुना ज़्यादा जो है रेमिटेंस हो सकती हैं क्योंकि ये प्रोग्राम बहुत अच्छे हैं. तो मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है कि पाकिस्तान गवर्नमेंट वो क्या स्टेप्स ले रही है कि जो आपकी स्कीम्स हैं ओवरसीज पाकिस्तानीज के लिए रिगार्डिंग हाउसिंग, रिगार्डिंग these investments, आप क्या इक़दामात ले रहे हैं कि वो पाकिस्तानीज को, ओवरसीज पाकिस्तानीज को पहुंचे, और what confidence building measures you are taking to bring in the investment in Pakistan? शुक्रिया.
What was it? First of all, on Pakistanis investing, the safest is going into the Roshan digital account. That's a safer. Then the next one is property. Now Ahmed came over to Pakistan and he spent a lot of time trying to get it done. If a Pakistani wants to come and invest, my take is invest in DHA, in the schemes that are already on the ground. Don't go for schemes that are too far away. I know Ahmed told me of many Pakistanis that burnt their fingers a few years ago, and he was talking to me about it. One has to be very careful. There's a lot of talk in Pakistan of the Ravi project in Lahore and this Bundle Island in Karachi. That will take time. It will take time for it to really start getting to the stage where overseas Pakistanis can come in with their investment. I can't say how long that will be, but once it is at a reasonable stage, then the Prime Minister himself will be making the announcement. At the moment, it is still at a preparatory stage. On industry, the one area that is growing very, very fast, and many people are now jumping in, is in the food processing business. Quite a few people, I've not heard anyone talk about that. The Prime Minister, sorry, I go back. Food processing itself is a good business. People are coming into it, and now you can feel that yes, there is still a lot of opportunities, and many people who are already in it. I'm hearing that they are expanding, but there are opportunities. On the construction side, the Prime Minister is regularly holding, and I mean very regularly, almost every week, every 2 weeks, to get the construction and the property development business by the private sector to come up and start to flourish. That would take not too long. It's now it's in months. It will be moving up well. There are other investment opportunities in the bigger industries. I know that I'm fairly. It appears to me that there is going to be shortages in all the building material areas, and that is a field that people are now starting to look into.
Thank you, Razak Saab. I have a series of questions. So, but thank you very much. And Arif Mansoori Saab, thank you very much for a great question. I would be bringing in a lot of media people because thanks to Waqar Ali Khan, we have many of our overseas newspaper and TV channel owners are attending this meeting. My next, as you mentioned about Suhail Masood in your talk, that what Suhail Masood was asking making sense. So may I request Suhail Masood Saab to ask the question and have a little bit of brief dialogue with Mr. Razak. So Suhail bhai, go ahead.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much. So Razak Saab, the question I had was actually when we are looking at Pakistan healthcare system, we are usually looking at only hospitals, but we are not looking at ambulatory services which can be provided at a much reasonably price rates to either to the government if the government is paying for it or individuals. So in America, home infusion, that is my industry, has been becoming really the prime provider for patients who have chronic illnesses and who have no means to transfer themselves to the hospitals to get the services done at home. And I have been doing it since 1990. And we have, like Waqar bhai was saying, the largest independently owned home infusion company in America. So my thing is, if there's a way to introduce this idea in Pakistan, it will really help people who are far away from the big cities, or even in a city where the hospital may be centralized, that we can have these services going to patient homes, either using nurses or using, we call them CNA in America, nursing aides. So I think that will really save a lot of money to the government and introduce a way for people who cannot come to the hospital to get the therapy, because in Pakistan, it's not like everybody has cars that they can put people in there and come daily for the infusions to the hospitals. So that is what I do at Kaaba Fusion. And like Waqar Bhai was saying, all my company names are Islamic names, and Kaaba, actually, I started after 9/11, and all my family was very scared that nobody will support it. But Alhamdulillah, it's a $500 million plus company at this point in 10 years. So that's my question. Is there a way to introduce novel ideas in Pakistan where the focus has always been building the hospitals? Thank you.
Thank you, Jamal Khwaja. Jamal Khwaja Sahab, I have very important person in my guest list.
Can Mr. Razak give the answer first, sir? Can you hold on 1 second?
No, sure.
Just 1
Yes,
second.
I would like to answer it. Suhail Masood Saab, I honestly feel that the segment of that health program that you're talking about, rather than the big hospitals, the type of service that you would give, particularly to not the far rural areas, but to the smaller towns who have to go to the bigger cities, and it's always too late. They're in serious medical condition. My suggestion to you is, please come to Pakistan, take out a few days here. I will help you. I can take you to the right people, and maybe we can get something going for you fairly soon, or put you on a certain path. Then your people could come out here and take it further forward, or send some of your executives out.
So how do I get hold of you, sir?
You can talk to me. I will connect you.
Me, Waqar Ali Khan and Sayyid Ahmed. No
Yes, sir.
problem.
Okay.
Just make sure you're buying 2 tickets, one for me as well.
Anytime, anytime.
Okay, I'll go to
Razak Saab, one thing frequently asked from the people, which is I'm going to put up. लोग सबसे ज़्यादा ये पूछते हैं कि okay, I love to participate in debt retirement and making loan-free Pakistan. So if I buy a property there for $1 crore and property value goes up in Pakistan, it will become 2 crore. So any restriction to bringing his money and a profit from Pakistan? This is question number 1. And question number 2, we want to open 1 million Roshan digital account. So it is a bit harder for the people to open it. So can you answer these 2 questions? 1 million Roshan digital account, and they can bring their money back with the profit to North America or overseas. Thank you.
That's the goal of the Media Council of Overseas Pakistani. Yes.
Yeah.
We can do it together. Yes.
Let me just say that as far as you buy property and it goes up in value, and you sell it and you've got a lot of capital gains, and can that be remitted? The answer is yes, it can be remitted. There is no restriction on repatriation of capital gain on property. No issue on that. The other issue of getting so many people to come in, most welcome. I think if a group of you came, we can arrange for you to meet the finance minister, but more important, the state bank governor, and I'm absolutely sure that that arrangement can be done, and I can be the catalyst in arranging for that.
Thank you, sir.
The
Thank you
next
so
thing is
much.
that they
The
can
next
open
gentleman I'm going to bring in, Waqar bhai, 1 minute.
Roshan digital account. The people overseas, Pakistanis, they don't have to come to Pakistan. They can buy through Roshan digital account if they like, DHA or whatever place they like. They can remit the money from here, and then they don't have to come to Pakistan.
You don't have to come to Pakistan to open the account. You can open that account wherever you are. I've seen the form, it's pretty simple. And the beauty of it is that you do not have to come to Pakistan.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
sir.
Recently, there was a program by State Bank of Pakistan which explained that there are 8 banks, local banks in Pakistan, who are facilitating this, and they have explained the entire program. Right now, I would like to take another question, sir. Please let me run this because we have too many people.
Jamal Saab,
Ji.
please get Mr. Yazdani,
Yes,
the
sir. He is
Vice
my next
President.
guest.
Yeah.
Believe me, I'm not leaving anybody alone without asking
Yeah,
Razak
he's
Saab the
not been
question.
introduced, so he's a
So next gentleman is Mr. Mubashir Yashdani Saab. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, Sagar Razak Saab, if you remember, I'm in Oakland. I was the president 3 years ago when you came over here
Yes,
on one of our
absolutely.
conferences.
Yes, yes, I
Yeah, and now
remember.
and now I'm on the board, and part of my main mission, if you can say that, is or has been helping the local community and people over here, to develop sciences, entrepreneurship, whatever they have. So we have a large community, which especially also focused on the new generation, and the kids of all the folks that you see over here on how they can be in the technology area and so on, and in the money making aspect. So we have a lot of charter members, and they come with issues. And one of the issue that came up recently was there are people, especially with the China Plus One policy, which the US has, where they are trying to open businesses and trying to take business outside China also. There's plus and minus. On one hand, China is doing its own stuff, but US is also saying, okay, can we have businesses outside that in other countries where we can benefit? And I have one person who has been trying to take assembly operations of electronics, like simple magnetics and things like that. And the issue that he runs with is customs. So there is not a clear process of managing duty-free stuff as it goes in, and then it's assembled and goes out. And most of the countries, China, Malaysia, you name it, Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore, wherever there is this happening, they have very strong processes. You just send something, and you know exactly how long it's going to take, what are the different business needs, and you can develop over there. So is there, I don't know, maybe वो कहते हैं ना कि बहुत ही simple सा request or whatever, but can there be a separate customs part or department to manage these things? So in fact, मैंने भी एक किताब भेजी, and then it got stuck because some material for medical stuff, because they want to know, okay, if it's anti-Islam or then export license higher, can you ever? It's a gift. So the people just want to get some money out of everything. Now the thing is, and it has an ISBN number, so you know what it is, right? So my point is that there's that level of corruption which basically prevents a lot of people in doing the normal business. But then this is the next level where you want to have established processes. So can we do anything on that?
Let me tell you, this is a very, very big challenge for us. And in many areas, we have been able to iron it out. We are working on this, and in many areas, for example, just recently, myself and the State Bank and the FBR, we have now got the system in place. It is done. And that is that if any of our exporters want their duty drawback to be paid to them, now they do not. It is an automatic online process, and already over ₹1 billion has gone to the exporters without it going back to the government. Straight from the State Bank, it goes to the exporter. These and many other such things. If you can let me know specifically, Yazdani Saab, what you would like. These one by one, we take processes and remove all the impediments in it, like we've already done in this case. Now, on your custom duty drawback, And you can ask any of the exporters, are they getting it? They get their money now. They don't have to run after the FBR people or the commissioners and pay them money to get their money out. It's automatic.
So,
Thank you, sir.
yeah,
Thank you so much for your question.
We'll connect with Waqar Saab to do this. And,
Yes.
you know, well, even Fawaz Chaudhry said it'll take time. So I don't know how much. So we've been talking to people. So we'll connect again with the person and get the information.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. That question, please keep it brief.
Yes, Mr. Razak, I just want to reaffirm my question. The travel and tourism industry, if you guys have any collective data to encourage, you know, visionaries and entrepreneurs like myself to really make the firm decision based on analytics and data in Karachi, in Islamabad, Lahore, just to get the real, I guess, perspective from the demand and supply side in the hotel industry.
You have asked a very, very good question. And right off the bat, I have to be honest, I would really have to search it out as to who has it. It will be difficult to trace it out, but let me see what I can do to give you the time.
Razak Saab, I like to bring in because a lot of people calling me. So lots of people have a plan to invest in Pakistan, and they have all kind of documentation and everything. So how this plans comes to you?
Well, it comes to me because all your investment issues come to the BOI.
Okay, so I collect everything.
If somebody's phone is working, somebody can please mute those disturbing sound.
Razak bhai, I can collect all these plans and projection and send it to you. That's the better way.
Yes, much better. Please do it. Okay. But
Now
I would like to put something forward. I see a few ladies. Please give them an opportunity to ask questions.
Yes.
Okay, just
so
last question. Some
our
people
next
like
question,
to come and
guys,
meet
hold on,
with
please,
you
sir. We are
directly.
mixing up. Waqar Saab, zara 2 minute ruk jaiye. I want to bring Miss Sabine again back and see that if she can ask the question. Can you, ma'am, unmute yourself?
Please do.
I don't have a question. I have a statement to make. For all of the attendees today, I can guarantee you, if you go to Pakistan, you will be treated like a VVIP. I landed in Karachi. Razak Saab found out through a contact that I was there. He was leaving for Malaysia, Korea next morning. He arranged for my being picked up in pouring rain from Karachi, deliver me to Islamabad, deliver me to their office. He stayed there till midnight to listen to my ranting and raving. So for those of you who want to go to Pakistan and you want to present your problems, Razak is very open. He is absolutely spellbinding. I had gone to Pakistan with an attitude. I came back with humility. So absolutely, the doors are open. Facilities are there. Please go to Pakistan. This is the new Pakistan, not the old one. Thank you.
Pakistan,
I wish to
Zindabad, sir. Very
confirm
well
that.
said.
Please do come. I will be at your service.
Acha, I have one important thing to tell Abdul Razak Saab. We had a meeting with Asad Majid Khan Saab, Consul General Abdul Jabbar Memon Saab, and a very good meeting. All the CEO participated, and we planned a trip to Pakistan sometime in March. But the COVID situation was worse. So we have already planned a trip to Pakistan for a week to come see you, see the Prime Minister of Pakistan, President, some other authorities, some other opportunities. So usme we would like to make myself available, and Jamal Khwaja Saab and Syed Ahmed Saab, we're going to make this trip to come. It's about 30 people to come Pakistan in a different field, like a food franchise, like electronic, electrical, software, hotel industry, real estate, and manufacturing, refurbishing product. तो उस सिलसिले में आप क्या कर सकते हैं?
That would be fantastic if you can arrange that. Then obviously I will make sure that this delegation does meet the Prime Minister, and meets all the relevant people, not only in Islamabad, but in the provinces, wherever your people want to go, whoever they want to meet, in the federal government and the provincial government. That is my job to arrange it for you.
Wow, wow.
I
think,
have
ladies and gentlemen, I think this itself shows the new Pakistan or the new regime in Pakistan is really working. Bakar Saab, can you hold on? I
Yes,
have Mr. Khushid Qureshi to ask a question. I will take 3 more questions, and after that we have to close this. So, Mr. Khushid Qureshi, go ahead.
जी जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मेरे क्वेश्चन है रजाक साहब से, और हम ये डाइस फाउंडेशन एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, जैसे मैंने बताई, जो 12-13 साल से काम कर रहे हैं और पाकिस्तान में इनोवेशन को प्रमोट करते हैं, बड़े इनोवेशन इवेंट लगाते हैं। तो अभी हम रिसेंटली हमने ये 2 साल से इलेक्ट्रिक कार के प्रोजेक्ट पे काम कर रहे हैं, पाकिस्तान की अपनी इंडिजिनस कार, जिसमें जो मिशिगन से जो इंजीनियर्स हैं, जो यूके से इंजीनियर्स हैं, जो वॉलंटरली जो ऑटोमोटिव इंडस्ट्री में काम करते हैं, पाकिस्तान के लिए कार डिजाइन कर रहे हैं। 50% कार का डिजाइन हो चुका है। अब मेरा स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन ये, मैं पाकिस्तान एक्चुअली अभी आ रहा हूँ इस्लामाबाद 20th से लेके 25th तक। मैं ही चाह रहा हूँ कि रज़ाक साहब मुझे बताइए कि अब इसको हम किस तरह गवर्नमेंट फैसिलिटेट कर सकती है। 50% डिजाइन हो चुका है, 1-1.5 साल इसका डिजाइन में और लगेगा। उसके बाद फिर हमने इसको चाहते हैं कि इसको कमर्शलाइजेशन हो, पाकिस्तान की अपनी गाड़ी हो इलेक्ट्रिक कार। तो इसमें अभी से लेके अगले 1-2 साल तक जब इसको आगे ये प्रोडक्शनाइज होगी, किस तरह हमें पाकिस्तान गवर्नमेंट फैसिलिटेट कर सकती है?
When you arrive here, let us meet. I will set up things for you as to what type of I want to understand exactly at what stage it is at and the amount of designing work that is being done.
Sure.
And then what are your plans to take it from the design stage onto a prototype and then a trial production, etc., etc.
Yes, I can share all the plans with you when I come.
Yes, sir. And I think this would be a good idea that any of the participant or anybody who wants to contact with Mr. Razak to contact Waqar Ali Khan, and he will be able to facilitate you, give you the email address or make the arrangement. At this point, I have a journalist, Mr. Anis Kareem, who has been very actively working in Los Angeles. Anis, go ahead and ask a question.
But brief.
Ji, Assalamualaikum. My name is Anis Kareem and I run World Women TV as well as the Mal TV here in USA. And thank you, Waqar, for bringing all these people, jewels of Pakistan, under one table. And then I would like to ask Mr. Razak that I see a big gap between the media here in USA as well as the government of Pakistan in terms of bringing or disseminating information about the programs. That's why there are so many questions from these entrepreneurs and people who want to invest. So how would you like to bridge this gap between media in USA? Maybe it's sort of advertising or giving us information, and we can funnel it through these people so they will have more knowledge as well as understanding of the processes that government of Pakistan is doing.
That is a very, very good question. And that there is no doubt this is one of the weaknesses. It is not my ministry, it's the Ministry of Information. I will bring your issue and talk to the concerned minister and his department and his ministry, because yes, there is a gap. There is no doubts about it. Somehow Pakistan is can nowhere match the way the Indians use their contact with their information system. Well, we certainly have to improve that. I can't give an answer to it. I will have to talk to our people that there is a gap and get back to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much,
Anis Bhai, for asking this question. Waqar Bhai, do you have any other question from your side?
Yeah, I do.
I have two questions. Yes. I have to raise 2 points. Please give me the opportunity.
Go ahead, sir. All yours.
2 points. One is that there is a Pakistani who has gone ahead and done something in the US, and that is he has a trading network in the US, and he's now approached me, and we're using our opportunities, our network, that Pakistanis, particularly the SMEs of Pakistan who want to sell in the US, he has got a series of warehouses in Orlando, outside of New Jersey, out in somewhere in certain parts of Houston, etc. Our Pakistani SMEs send their goods out to this particular outlet, and from there they don't have to do any of the marketing. The overseas Pakistanis are doing the marketing for them. This is the type of thing that if you people get involved in this, it would be absolutely phenomenal. That our SMEs can use the strength of the Pakistanis distribution network out in the US. That's one thing. And the second thing is that any of you who need to contact me, Said Ahmed and I have been talking for a good while. You can use his offices and through his channel. He knows, he's been to my office several times, and people in my office know him. That can also be a source of contact.
Thank you so much.
जबरदस्त है जनाब रजा साहब, आपकी बहुत अच्छी जो आप जवाब
Waqar bhai, I have 1 or 2 more people for question. Can you give me 5 seconds?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. So I have this dear friend and a very popular leader in Los Angeles. His name is Mr. Zubair Rao. He's in a business of computers. He's a known dealer for Apple. Zubair bhai, go ahead and ask Mr. Razak a question.
Assalamu alaikum everybody. Assalamu alaikum Razak Saab. I'm in computer industry, especially related to Apple computer from last over 3 decades. And right now I'm working to bring the technology to Pakistan to refurbish iPhones. All Apple iPhone, especially low-end iPhones, current iPhones, the one is returning back to Apple, should go to Pakistan and refurbish and sell in Pakistan and nearby countries. So that's a project I'm working on, and I've been working with the consulate here and Washington side. They are helping me to facilitate and give me information what I'm looking for at this time. I really appreciate all your effort, what you are putting together, and very nice things. So we all are motivated, and we are all enthusiastic to go and invest in Pakistan, inshallah.
Well, let me just say that just recently we have announced a policy of giving incentives to local manufacture of mobile phones. And 2 Chinese companies, one has already come in, the other is about to come in, and Samsung is thinking of coming. Now that is new phones. We are trying to stop directly imports of phones. Yours is a halfway house. You would ship your phones and upgrade them in Pakistan. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Yes.
My suggestion to you is please send somebody of your rep who could come, and then we can have some detailed discussions, asking all the questions that we need to do before we can say yes. I cannot straight away say brilliant idea. It's a good idea, but how would it fit in with our scheme of manufacturing mobile phones in Pakistan? You were talking about refurbishing old iPhone. Is that correct?
That is correct. Only iPhones. Apple
Okay,
iPhone.
so my suggestion is that please send somebody out here and we can go through the whole process with him.
I have planned out with Waqar Bhai, so inshallah we'll meet you guys in March.
Thank you so much, Zubair bhai. Waqar bhai, if you don't mind, I have a question if I can ask. May I?
Yes.
So, sir, Mr. Razak, my name is Jamal Khwaja, and I've been in mortgage and real estate industry for last 20 years in California. And as I see that the Prime Minister is putting a lot of effort that Pakistanis should own a home, and a new mortgage system is being introduced in Pakistan. And they are trying to bring the interest rate also on lower 6 and 7%. Now, I just want to, and I'm sure you are aware of it, in United States, the way the system works is that whatever the loans I fund, I can go and replenish my money through Freddie or Fannie Mae. I go sell my loans to them and I get the money back so I can go back again and lend some more. So I just wanted to know, do you have some sort of expertise in that area where I can come and help you all and set up a mortgage company in Pakistan?
First of all, there is no doubt that mortgage firms, the whole concept of mortgaging has to come into Pakistan. Up to now, we've not been able to do it. How we can develop this, I think the best way would be is to start discussing with our various financial institutions. I myself am not an expert on this. What I can do is get the right people to come in and talk to you when you people come over.
Inshallah, sir. Thank you very much. Waqar bhai,
There is
go ahead.
no doubt housing will not take off unless the mortgage system is improved and made larger and more accessible.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for, and I look forward meeting you, sir. Seems like you are a man of lot of knowledge, so we can get something from that. Go ahead,
Shahid
Waqar bhai,
Khwaja
all
Sahab
yours.
is getting very late in Pakistan, and I am very thankful to Razak Bhai.
No,
We're gonna wrap up there, and with Razak Bhai, with your permission, I'll give everybody my phone number because it's very hard for me to contact everybody. So if anybody wants to take my phone number, it's 613-261-8385. I'll repeat 613-261-8385, and inshallah, Razak Sahab said it very clearly. If anybody need to contact, I'll be very happy to contact them. And Razak Sahab, I'm very, very thankful to you. You gave us the time at very late night. Waqar bhai, go ahead.
Say it up.
Yeah, go ahead, Waqar bhai.
Razak, first of all, thank you very much. And I have to tell you that I'm the founding chairman of Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce, working since almost 30 years. And we played a very key role taking the investment delegation to Pakistan in many times. And we are also decided to the virtual expo to promote the Pakistani product. We are also working with the tariff. We have done a program on the Day on the Hill where we invited all the Congressmen and senatormen to discuss the tariff. Okay, that's also our main goal. Besides that, the Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce is the one who invited almost 95% guests. Those are connected to my television network, Safir Pakistan, which is run almost 15 years on GeoTV. It's called Safir Pakistan. My new book is coming about, there were about 1,000 people, the most influential Pakistani American in the US. Okay, that will give you the very, very door opening who is who in America, in North America and in Canada. और मैं समझता हूँ कि आज जितने भी हमारे participant हैं, they are very serious, they are very dedicated, they're honest to work with Pakistan. But they should be not ratted. They should be like a soft handling. with the government of Pakistan and the very clear cut the policies. Okay, and I'm also the chairman of the Media Council of Overseas Pakistani, and we are sending you the memorandum what we need to promote Pakistan image, promote Pakistan investment, promote Pakistan trade, export. In textile, Pakistan has a lot of edge on the textile. America need lot of apparels, lot of bed sheets, comforter, t-shirts and hoodies and many products. But the problem in Pakistan is the cost. The time of the delivery is very difficult from Pakistan, which is you have to make really, really easy for the textile owner and textile exporter in Pakistan. The second thing is very important. We want to do a special documentary about rebranding Pakistan, which is we have to promote this documentary in many languages. The OPTV Global is halfway on this production, and we need Department of Commerce of Pakistan to cooperate with us, to support us, we get this documentary all over the world.
Okay. I really like what you've just said. And there is no doubts in my mind that we have a lot of rebranding of our country. We've had so many years of bad publicity. We've got to be able to do that. And the Prime Minister is getting a group of people who will work on that on a full-time basis. So we hope that, well, when you come, we will discuss those things.
Definitely. I have the commercial attaché here, Mr. Atif Aziz Saab. I want to bring him on the board to say you hello and close this chapter. Hello, Mr. Atif Aziz Saab.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर, मैंने सर सारे नोट्स वगैरह ले लिए हैं. इंशाल्लाह फॉलोअप हम करते रहेंगे. कॉन्सुलेट जो यहाँ पर है सर और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉमर्स से हमारा एक वर्किंग रिलेशनशिप रेगुलर बेसिस पर रहता है. तो जो भी आज सजेशंस यहाँ पे दिए गए जो फॉलोअप है इंशाल्लाह वो हम लेके अपनी मिनिस्ट्री से टेकअप करते रहेंगे. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Aziz Saab. Please send those, send the minutes to the Ministry of Commerce. We will certainly follow up on it.
Thank you, sir.
Razak Saab, I will make a complete binder for you with each and every participant, the introduction, their business size, their business worth, and their interest. That will get from Pakistan American Chamber of Commerce, the whole binder. Inshallah, within a week time, you get every detail, the email, the phone number, the contact, the business size. So there's so many people couldn't make it due to the technology problem, but inshallah ta'ala, soon we're going to have another meeting. Jamal, can you close?
Ji sir, thank you so much.
Any question from the media, Mr. Altaf Iqbal from Kuwait? You have any questions? Altaf, you have question?
जी सर, अस्सलाम वालेकुम जी. अपना मैं तारिक इकबाल बोल रहा हूँ कुवैत से और मुझे एजाज़ हासिल है कि मैं टेक्सपो जो हुआ था लाहौर में उसमें वो मीडिया के हवाले से मैं टीम लेके गया था और बहुत अच्छा वो रहा. और वहाँ पे जो डेलीगेट्स आए थे कुवैत से जो लोग आए थे. जी सवाल सर ये है कि ये जो BOI है वो कुवैत में 2017 में आया था और उसके बाद यहाँ पे कुवैत में अलमिया ये है कि यहाँ पे कोई कम्युनिटी अटैची नहीं है जो ट्रेड के हवाले से यहाँ काम कर सके. तो कोई अगर वहाँ बंदा हो तो कम से कम ये तो हो कि जो भी डेलीगेट्स पाकिस्तान से आए वो यहाँ पे उसको अटेंड करे और एक अच्छा इवेंट बन सकता है ताकि सरमायाकारी हो सके. तो तकरीबन सर 3.5 साल हो गए हैं, बल्कि 4 साल होने वाले हैं, यहाँ पे ट्रेड का कोई भी नुमाइंदा नहीं है. तो मैं समझता हूँ कि सर ये थोड़ा सा इस पे हमारी हुकूमत और आप लोग अगर हम चाहते हैं कि पाकिस्तानी सरमायाकारी अच्छी हो तो प्लीज जरा इस पे जरा गौर कीजिएगा. शुक्रिया.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका पॉइंट. मेरा ख्याल है कि ये इसलिए नहीं हुआ था कि कुवैत वाज द वन कंट्री जो बिल्कुल हमारे वीजास को बैन कर दिए थे, बट अभी ये खोल दिए हैं. तो नाउ वी कैन स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन इट मोस्ट सर्टेनली. बहुत अच्छा.
थैंक यू. और सर मैं यहाँ बताता चलूं कि हमारे तारिक इकबाल साहब जो कुवैत से हैं, he represents OPTV in Kuwait for us, so you could see that I think a lot of people have not joined us from Japan, many other countries. So with that, The first of all, and the most important, that I want to thank everybody who have participated and who have asked questions. And you all can see that Pakistan government is ready to do business. I'm sure we've been only, we got our independence in 1947, which makes us only 74 years old. Now, United States is been in existence for last 245 years. They are older. The systems are much advanced here. But Pakistan in 73 years, and especially in last 2.5, 3 years, have really progressed to a miles which is unbelievable, unheard of, and it's doing a tremendous job. Looking at COVID, I think no other country have done this much what Pakistan have done, knowing the capacity and the capabilities we have. So we all should be very proud Pakistani, and I am delighted. I don't have the words to express, talking to Mr. Dawood, that now the right people, the people who understand business, who understand economy, are on the right position. With that, I thank Mr. Razak for giving his time, and I know it must be very late in Pakistan, and I'm looking forward to meeting you and having a lot of nihari and biryanis.
And also thankful to Mr. Syed Ahmed, who's the one who coordinated liaison for us. He and me almost a 30 years friendship on the journey of Pakistan. Mr. Syed Ahmed, thank you very much. God bless you. Keep doing good job, and we'll work together on with the Razak Dawood Sahab. Thank you very much, everyone. God bless Pakistan, and of course, God bless America.
Thank
Pakistan
you,
Zindabad.
everybody who participated, and I'm very thankful for Razak bhai. He gave us a time in the very late night. Very, very thankful to everyone, and thanks you to Razak Dawood Sahab. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Allah Hafiz.
God bless. God bless.
Kaba Fusion is a pharmacist-owned, patient-focused team of professionals with over 30 years' experience providing intravenous medication to patients in the comfort of their own home. Founded by Dr. Sohail Masood, Kaba Fusion has 7 state-of-the-art pharmacies located across the country. Visit us at kabafusion.com to learn more about the benefits of in-home infusion therapy.
शाहनवाज हलाल तंदूरी रेस्टोरेंट, मजेदार मुगलई खानों का मरकज और सोने पर सुहागा कोरियन बारबेक्यू के साथ हर संडे शानदार मुगलई ब्रंच पायनियर बुलेवार्ड के बीचों बीच। शाहनवाज हलाल तंदूरी रेस्टोरेंट, वन एंड ओनली इन द टाउन। बड़े से बड़े पार्टी और कैंटीन की आला इंतजाम। आज ही कॉल करें दारा खान को 5624-027-443।
मारूफ नाम वकार अली खान पेश करते हैं प्रोग्राम पाकिस्तान से आगे। दुनिया भर में आबाद पाकिस्तान के बारे में भरपूर रिपोर्ट, समाजी, फलाही, इस्लामी, सियासी, साइंस, सेहत और JFK के साथ प्रॉपर्टी पर खुसूसी रिपोर्ट। देखिए पाकिस्तान से आगे वकार अली खान के साथ दुनिया भर में आबाद पाकिस्तानी पाकिस्तान की तरक्की के लिए सरगर्म। देखिए प्रोग्राम पाकिस्तान से आगे वकार अली खान के साथ अमेरिका, यूरोप, अफ्रीका, मिडिल ईस्ट, साउथ एशिया की तरक्की में पाकिस्तानियों का हिस्सा। देखिए प्रोग्राम पाकिस्तान से आगे। देखिए बैनुल अक़वामी मंजर में पाकिस्तानियों का फलाही, समाजी, सियासी, मुआशी, तिजारती सतह पर पाकिस्तानियों का हिस्सा। वकार अली खान के साथ प्रोग्राम पाकिस्तान से आगे।